Namaste. How are you doing today? I trust that you are doing very, very well, as am I. So, today I want to start by telling you a little story. And this story is about many of you, I'm sure, have, if not read the Bible, then you know a little bit about the Bible, or you've at least heard about a prophet called Moses, the one who had parted the seas, and he's also mentioned in the Quran. He's as Hazrat Musa. So, Hazrat Musa, we will call him, because we are in India, so I think it sounds nice. I like it. So, Hazrat Musa used to go to the mountain, Mount Sinai, and he used to get these. Today we would call them downloads, or you hear the divine. He would actually hear. I'm so sorry. He would actually hear the voice of God. Okay, and God used to speak to him. That is how he got the 10 commandments down, you know. So one day Hazrat Musa was out, and he was, I think, probably going from one village to another village. It doesn't matter where he was going, but he was out, and he is now passing by a very green, grassy area. Okay, and there he sees this shepherd, you know, and he sees the shepherd in a kneeling down position, and he is folded his hands, and he seems to be in prayer. Now Musa wanted a drink of water. Hazrat Musa, I'm sorry, he wanted a drink of water. So he said, let me not disturb him, I'll just go and stand quietly next to him, and once he's done, I will ask him for the water. So he goes and he stands next to him. And when he stands there, he hears this man, and this man is praying, and he's saying, God, I have never seen you, but I know that you are there, and I wish you would come, in front of me. I wish you would come. I would be so happy. Please come. And when you come to me, I will give you the sweetest green grass to eat. And then I will give you the sweet water from our river to drink. And then I will sit and I will remove all the lice from your fur. So this Hazrat Musa is listening to him, and when he said, I will remove all the lice from your fur, he couldn't take it anymore. As it is, he was becoming Aag Babula. Ke, what is this guy saying? That when you come, God, I will give you green grass to eat, and then I will give you water to drink. And now he's saying, I will remove lice from your fur. He couldn't take it anymore. It was for him like blasphemy. He was like, he told him, he yelled and he said, stop it, stop it. And that poor guy was praying. He got startled, and he was like, what's happened, and he said, who are you, sir? And he said, I am Musa. And so obviously everyone knew about him and his connection with the divine, and that he was able to communicate. So the news must have spread. So this shepherd knew also. So the shepherd got up and he said, oh my God, you are Hazrat Musa. And he bowed down before him, and he said, what is wrong? Have I done something wrong? And he said, of course you have. How dare you pray in this manner? Is this how we pray? So the shepherd said, but I don't know, I am uneducated. I have no idea how to pray, and this is my way of praying, and I pray like this every day. And Hazrat Musa said, nothing doing, you better stop from today. And if you want to learn the right way to pray, then you come to our village and we will show you. This is not how you pray to God. Such a big divine power, and how are you talking to it? Don't you have any respect? So that by then now, obviously knowing that this Hazrat Musa firstly has come here, and then now he's blasting him and telling him this is not how you should pray. This poor guy though had got totally, he had become like this, like he was terrified because he's displeased God. I mean, that's like really terrifying. Anything can happen to me now, correct? And all bad things. So he was immediately, no, sir, I will do whatever you say. I will come to your village and I will learn and all of that. And then, of course, Hazrat Musa asked him for water. He gave him water, and then Hazrat Musa went on his way. Now, after a couple of days, Hazrat Musa he goes to Mount Sinai. Okay, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Please excuse me. Now, Mount Sinai was the mount where Musa used to stand and communicate with the divine. So he goes to Mount Sinai for his next dialogue with God. And when he goes there, God says to him, Musa, you have been separating my people from me. So he said, no, I have not done that. Why would I do that? I am trying to spread your word, I am trying to spread your name, your teachings. Why would I do that? And God said, no, but you have been doing that. You have. Did you not tell a shepherd that you met 2 days ago that the way in which he was praying was wrong? Hazrat Musa says, but he was. Do you know what he was saying, God? He was saying that I will give you green grass to eat and I will remove the lice from your fur. And God just stopped him right there and said, I know, and I liked it. In fact, out of everyone that prays to me, his prayer to me was the dearest to me. It was the sweetest prayer. And Hazrat Musa is like in shock. What is God saying? And God said, do not put a man down just because he is not saying things in just the right manner that you think a prayer needs to be said. He was praying from his heart. It was coming from his heart to me directly, because that was what he understood. I, according to him and his understanding, for him, God, he has not seen God. For him, I, God, am a goat, because that is his livelihood. That is how his home runs. And for him, the goat is everything. So he has made the goat into me and me into the goat. It's one and the same thing for him, which is why he was telling the goat that, which is why he was mentioning in his prayer that I will give you grass to eat and I will give you water to drink and I will remove all the lice and the ticks from your fur, right? These prayers are precious to me. You will go back to that man and you will tell him to continue praying in the way that he was. And then after hearing this, it dawned on Musa. He said, of course, he apologized first to the divine and said, I am very, very sorry. It was wrong of me and I will go back and make amends and I will give him your message. So, what does this mean? That we, each of us, every being, whether you are even an atheist, you know, everyone has some form of divinity, everyone has some form of the universe that they look up to, right? It is the God of their understanding, God, goddess, whatever. And none of us are in any position to be judging somebody for what they believe in. None of us. Because we each have the freedom, we each have the right to believe in whoever we wish to believe in. You know, wherever it is that you are going to get your peace of mind, that's what matters. So many people just believe in being good human beings. They say, I don't believe in God and the whole concept of God. I believe that if I am a good human being, everything automatically works out for me. And which is true, because it is what you put out there is what you get back, right? As you sow, so shall you reap. And it is very simple, that philosophy, and even that works. Why? Because basically everything you are doing, you're sending out your vibrations through the universe. By being a good person, you may be going out there and you're seeing somebody, okay, somebody is very thirsty, you know. Supposing you're in a rickshaw and the weather is very hot, right? And you step out and you make the rickshaw guy wait, and you say कि मैं ये लेके वापस आती हूँ, I need to go further, and he waits for you. And you go to the store, you get whatever it is that you need, and then at the same time you buy a bottle of water for that man, and then you get into your rickshaw and you give him that bottle of water because it is swelteringly hot. You know, what have you done? You have done something very big, much bigger than going to a temple or going to any other place and giving lots of money, giving lots of gold, giving all of that. Because do you really think God needs that? No. The human needed it. The God within that human needed it, right? Because you saw from the kindness and compassion in your heart that it is so hot. This man is sweating, and you know he's got to go through the entire day driving this rickshaw. So let me do this little bit by buying him some water to drink, which is so basic, right? But it is something that we all need and we cannot do without, you know. So we are not in any position to go around looking at people and thinking कि oh ये इनको फलाने को सुनते हैं, you know. Yeah, somebody, let people be, let people do what they want, because if you are getting genuinely connected to the God within yourself, like I keep telling you, hand on the heart and connect, you will never be guided wrong. You will never be listening to somebody or someone who is going to speak or say things which are not going to be good for you or for your family, you know, which you will get influenced by, and therefore your family. You must have the faith. Have the faith in yourself. Have the faith that whatever you are doing, trust, only good will come of it, you know. And yes, of course, every religion, basically, what is it? Be good, be kind, be compassionate, be who you really came here to be, you know, shine like the true beings of light that we are. We are just here to share our light. Firstly, we are here to understand who we are, you know. We have not even understood who we are, what we are, and yet we have the audacity to go around judging others so easily. We are in total confusion about our own selves. We know nothing about ourselves. You know, you wake up in the morning, you're in one mood. By the time an hour has passed, you're in another mood. Another hour has passed, you're in another mood. Everything fluctuates according to what's happening in your life, you know. So you are still studying your own self, ki what is happening to me, you know. Somebody is saying something, my mood is changing, you know. I go into the kitchen and I do something, I have some oil spillage, some disaster, and then I'm reacting, you know. Then after a little while I come out and somebody's maybe watching something funny on the television, so I just sit there and watch and I'm laughing. So how many emotions are we going through in one day, which we are not even capable of handling and balancing? We are still in states of imbalance, our own selves, and yet we go around looking at other people and saying, how can he be like this? How can she do that? How can so and so say this? You know, they can and they will and they are, till good sense prevails, you know, till they get really connected to their own divine GPS, and then they start realizing, and then they start getting the correct guidance for themselves, you know. But like we spoke once earlier also, that saying in English is very correct. Don't, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, and we all throw stones. I mean, it was like Jesus said, right, when people were throwing stones at the prostitute Mary Magdalene. She was not a prostitute, firstly, so they've got it all wrong there. There were too many Marys in the Bible, firstly, so they have just used it to bring down the power of the woman by making Mary Magdalene into the prostitute. She was absolutely not one. This was another Mary entirely, but that's another story. So anyway, so they were throwing stones at her and saying, oh, you know, she has lied, she's an adulteress, she's this, she's that. And he's just said a very simple thing: whichever of you has never ever committed a sin, please pick the first stone and throw it at her. Which nobody could do, right? Because we all in our own way have sinned, are sinning, correct? I mean, if you want to use that word, I don't much care for that term. I would rather say that we all have our flaws, and we are all in the process of trying to better ourselves, trying to find ways in which we can relieve ourselves of these flaws, ways in which we can clear them out of our systems, because we are hardwired with them. So many of us have got, not so many of us, all of us, so many of us are on the path of awakening, others are beginning to awaken, and the ones that are on the path of awakening are trying to walk in mindfulness, trying to look at themselves, you know, all the time, be watchful. What am I thinking? What is this bringing up for me? You know, this emotion is coming up. You know, how do I clear this? This fear is coming up. How do I clear this, right? So we are doing that, but there are a lot of people who do not know as yet. They do not know. We know that we are a supercomputer, and we are hardwired from the time you're born. Also from past timelines. Beliefs are there, conditionings are there, where you have people, no, you feel that, oh my God, this person is so stubborn, there's no point talking to them, because they just don't get it, you know. They don't get it because they are hardwired. It's there in their system to such a huge degree, coming down from their ancestry. It's in their DNA, their genes, till such time that they don't start waking up and realizing, you know what, now I realize that I have a block with this thing and I am not able to handle it. Maybe I should get some help, you know. And so you get professional help to do it. People like me are there. We help you to clear blocks, to remove them. So at the end of the day, all of us, each and every one of us, we are works in progress, and we should not discount that. So in the same manner that you would give yourself a huge amount of leeway if you do something wrong, right, and say nobody comes to know, so then we'll give ourselves that much छूट के अच्छा हाँ ठीक है ना मैंने किया, लेकिन किसी और ने किया तो वही चीज़, then it becomes unbearable ना. So different strokes for different folks हो जाता है ना basically. At the end of the day, we are trying to come into a space of balance, right? Which is what this will do for you. Connecting with the inner one is going to bring divine balance, divine equanimity, divine neutrality, where you can see a thing and you can say, हाँ अच्छा. You're neither for nor are you against. You just are. Because in the end, being for something or being against it, na, even if you don't decide to take any step at all, that situation will get resolved somehow or the other without you having to do anything about it. Because that's how the world works, right? Nothing stays the same, everything is changing constantly. Constantly, there is constant fluctuation, isn't there? In everything. I mean, right now we've been in this lockdown, at least in India. Today we do not know what will happen. Maybe they'll put an end to it. Maybe there'll be little more, you will be given some more liberties. Maybe they'll extend it till the end of the month. We don't know, but something is going to change, correct? And many things have already changed in our lives because of all this, right? So change is a constant, we should not try to fight it. Rather try and be in the flow of acceptance. Acha, theek, everything is good. Somebody is extremely negative, because we need to use terms here. Don't converse with them that much. I mean, if you have extremely negative people in your home, where you are staying and you can't do anything about it, try to converse as little as possible. Stay away from them. And like I've told you, because having somebody negative, if they're going to create a certain vibe for everything all the time, or like a dense dark cloud in your house all the time, then I would say to you, you can do find some mantra, find some prayer that you can keep doing mentally, and then I told you that Ho'oponopono prayer yesterday. You can do that for that person so that they keep getting cleared, and at least you're getting cleared of all the negativity that you are feeling, because they are in that zone. And then what happens is, the dark is always wanting to suck. So it's like an energy vampire. It's all the time sucking your energy. So don't let that happen. That's how we start getting fed up and frustrated with people, because we allow them. We give them that space of sucking our energy. Stop allowing people to do that, Start staying in your own space, your own aura. The more you do this connecting with the heart exercise, the more your aura will start becoming bigger and bigger. And the more your aura starts becoming bigger, what will happen is, as a result, the light is becoming bigger, na? So when the light is bigger, what happens? If a room is dark and you switch on the light, what happens? The darkness is gone, right? So the more that we work on ourselves, we will be able to influence the others. It's a natural process. Auras mingle, right? Which is why if you're not very strong spiritually and you're not very high vibration, you can get pulled and sucked into somebody's negativity very easily, which you don't want. That's why you need to keep strengthening yourself by some daily practice every day, you know, and do this. I mean, I would love to talk to you about, there is this beautiful thing called the violet flame that can also be used, but I will discuss this on another day. It's a very precious and beautiful thing that has been offered to mankind. I think I'll save it for the next video. But for today, this is what I wanted to say, कि let us not be in judgment of anyone, and let us not even be in judgment of ourselves. Don't judge yourself. You know how when you do something like let's say, you know, if I am slow, now all of you know that I can't, I'm cooking, I won't say I can't cook now, I'm much better, but I can't cut vegetables still, you know, you can't see my fingers, I've cut my fingers so many times because I can't do it properly, right? But I don't get into a tiz every time I cut my finger or something happens to me. There's no point, no. I just say, you're getting better, you will get better, don't worry. Next time around, be more careful, Upasana, be more careful. That's what I tell myself. And then I try, because the next time I'm doing it, I say, yeah, remember last time you cut your finger, huh? Now today you better be careful. So then when I'm more careful, I don't cut myself, you know. So we all need to start becoming careful with ourselves, with the words that we are speaking to ourselves also, not just to others. Be kind, be loving and compassionate to yourself also. Like I said to you, when you look at yourself, every time you cross a mirror, say, hi, I love you, you're amazing, you look so beautiful today. I love you so much. Do that, you know. See, just the smile does so much to the body. The rest of the body has got a message, oh, this person is happy, you know. And the more we do it, the more we are sending messages that I'm happy, that everything is okay, you know. So these are small little things that one can do to make life easier for ourselves. So nobody is coming from out there to make life easier for us. We have to do it for ourselves, right? And yes, so there was this disclaimer which I was actually supposed to say before I started, but I didn't remember, so I'm going to say it now. My name is Upasana Suhail Kapadia. I'm an energy transformer, and I also wanted to say this, I'm here to help the planet and all of you at this time to wake up to who you truly are, to wake up to the divinity within yourself, and to know that it is your birthright to have the most amazing, joyful, blissful, magical life. And while I do these videos as well, because when I sit to do it, I am calling on divine energy constantly. So there are times when I have these little pauses and stuff, or you just see me going little blank. Please understand that at that time energies are coming in. There are energies right now also running through me, which are constantly being transmitted out via my being to you as you are watching. So there is always divine love flowing out to you, divine peace flowing out to you, divine joy flowing out to you, divine chuckles, so you may laugh and have a lovely, lovely day. Have a fun day, because it's Sunday today, and I shall see you soon. Loads of love, loads of blessings as always. Namaste.